Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Jay's Flicks podcast. I'm your host Jaden here, of course. Today we're going to be talking about the movie Thanksgiving. I know it's December, the second day of December, but I was planning to do a recap for this movie, a review of it. It was released, I think the 17th of November, or a couple weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving. And it was a holiday slasher film, and these typically don't do that well at the box office. There haven't been it hasn't been too much success with them. I mean, you think back to Black Christmas and um, movies like that. I mean, now Halloween, of course, is its own different thing. We know the success of the Halloween movies, the Halloween franchise. We know it's always been a successful franchise in the film industry. But when they were talking about Thanksgiving, and Eli Roth is the director. And when they talked about this movie releasing, I'm like, man, this, you know, hmm. At first, I'm like, man, I don't know about this. First off, the movie is titled Thanksgiving. Like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be crap. This film is gonna suck. But I was wrong, man. I went and I watched it. It was very interesting. The cast was a very intriguing cast. Of course, led by Addison Rae, of course, the famous social media star. She was also in the movie He's All That. That's on Netflix. She did that a few years ago. So she's starting to make her way up into the, in the film business there in the Hollywood business. She's starting to get more roles. I think she's going to be in another movie, like another animated movie coming out next year. So she's getting a lot more roles. And Patrick Dempsey, of course, everybody knows him from he was in Enchanted and in the Enchanted sequel. He's also he's been in a lot of other stuff, a lot of other movies. But he was in it. So yeah, Nell Verlaque. That's how you pronounce her name. But yeah, it a very good cast. The story was good for the most part. Basically, I don't want to go too much into spoilers because if you guys haven't got a chance to watch it, I highly advise you to go and watch this movie. But basically, it takes place, in the actual town of Plymouth, Massachusetts, around the time of Thanksgiving, and there's a riot, a Black Friday riot at a store, and people get hurt, people get killed. It's just completely crazy, and this is from the very beginning of the movie. Like I love how they paint the Black Friday scene. Everybody's waiting outside the store, and just I mean, just craziness. People trying to get in there and get these gifts and things like that. They're on sale or whatnot. Trying to get these items on clearance, and they're just stampeding. And then when they break through the gates, they just stampede the store. People get trampled on. Somebody even, it's a little gory, but some people, yeah, get hurt and lots of other things like that. So, and yeah, and but this scene is very important because it kind of paints the picture for the rest of the movie. It kind of lays the groundwork there, and you see that this part of the film really sets up for why the killer is doing what he's doing, why he's going around dressed up like a pilgrim and murdering people on Thanksgiving, but not just people, specific people. And that the movie we'll get to that part in a little bit, but I love that the pacing was okay. It wasn't too rushed. It didn't feel like a 2023 movie, too much like a 2023 movie. I mean, like it wasn't the woke crap wasn't too much in there. I love how it didn't do that 'cause a lot of movies now are trying to force the woke thing and all this. But this movie, Eli Roth did a great job of not really doing that. Especially it's a holiday film and nobody wants to think about that. It's Thanksgiving. It seemed like I mean, for what it was, marketed to be, it's a Thanksgiving slasher, it's a horror film, mystery slasher, holiday film. It's not nothing extravagant. Like you can't go into this movie with expectations like it's going to be something good, like Insidious or The Conjuring, or even latest recent horror projects like Megan or Smile or things like that. No, this is a different type of film. This is a film it's a miss. It's you got this killer. Nobody knows who he is. He's going around. He's dressed like a pilgrim on Thanksgiving and killing specific people that um, particular people that are being targeted by him because of that Black Friday riot. And I can't go too much in the plot without revealing everything. But I will say this: towards the end, people will. Uh, you might be surprised who it is, who the killer is, and you might not be. But like I said, the very the very first pretty much part of the movie with the Black Friday scene in the store is very important. That is very important. Again, because it lays the foundation for the rest of the story, for the rest of the film. So that's just something I wanted to make note of. But yeah, like I said, I think you personally, it was a good movie, a $15 million budget. So not nothing too extravagant. I mean, but for what it was, I enjoyed the kills were good. They weren't too gory, but at the same time they were gory enough. And um, but I will say this: if you're squeamish with that type of stuff, then you probably wouldn't want to watch this. If you get easily grossed out by blood and all that, you probably don't want to watch this movie. But if you don't, and you like a good slasher film, then this is your pick. This is a pick for you, especially around this time of the season. So we don't really get good movies around this time of the year too much. This mostly comes like in the early fall, summer, or like in the spring. That's when we get these typically get our good movies. So not this block of between Thanksgiving and Christmas is pretty dry, but for the box office, but for the most part, this movie did really well. I feel like a lot of people had great things to say about it, and rightfully so. Just the way everything was put together. You can tell that a lot of attention was put into making this, like an interesting, Thanksgiving movie. We don't usually get things like that. As far as Thanksgiving is concerned, I feel like Eli Roth did a great job of the story, and just the writing was good for the most part. So some things could have been a little bit better, like towards the later part of the film, like around the third part, like the third act. You know it could have been better, but I really had no complaints. I give this like a 7.5 out of 10. Which is I think is pretty reasonable for a movie of this stature. I think it's pretty reasonable to give it this type of review. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 84%. I don't know how many of you guys go by Rotten Tomatoes for your film critics, or for your film critiques. I when I am wanting to see a new movie, I do go to Rotten Tomatoes to see what they say. But then again, sometimes they're completely wrong on their criticisms of films and shows. So that's just something it's really something you're going to have to take into account for your own measure there, and you're just going to have to see it for yourself and create your own depiction of it. Like I said, don't have high expectations going to this movie. Like if you know what you're watching, you know what you're about to get into, then you should be fine with it. You should, nothing should make you mad or upset you about it. But again, if you go into watching this movie with the thought that it's going to be living up to a standard of a Megan type of film, or Smile, or Insidious, or whatever. It's not that type of horror movie. It's not going to be that way. It's just not that. It's not that good, but it is good in a way, in its own way. It's unique. It's interesting. Um, and the marketing for the most part, marketing could have been a little bit better for the film. I wish it got marketed, in a higher standard than it did. I feel like a lot more attention would go to it, but for the majority, everybody really likes this movie that I talked to, that I've seen, and so I hope you guys do as well when you go watch it. So definitely go see it, form your own opinion, and I know it's December, like I said, but yeah, go watch it in theaters. It's playing in theaters, and Eli Roth just announced that a few days ago that it will receive a sequel. There will be a Thanksgiving 2 that will be releasing next year. And yeah, I'm excited for that, guys. I'm really excited for it. I posted about it on my Instagram page, so make sure you guys go follow me, Jay's Flicks 23 on Instagram, so you get the latest updates and everything you want to know. Yeah, so it's going to be releasing in 2025, actually, not next year. So in theaters 2025, because he said he wanted to take time to really form the story, form a sequel, and um, get together, yeah, his casting, and see how they're going to continue the story after we left it off, at the end of the first Thanksgiving film. So, and like I said, when you watch the ending, it, yeah, I definitely when you see the movie and you get to the end part, you'll understand why it definitely needs a sequel, and just the way they can continue the story on from there. And it's very intriguing, very interesting. So that much I can say about this movie, but other than that, guys, yeah, that pretty much wraps us up. Short episode today on the pod, for this movie for Thanksgiving. Again, this is a movie that I really encourage you guys to watch and go see, especially if you're a slasher film fan. Again, it's in theaters now, but it probably won't be for much longer. And then it might hit streaming, so I'm not exactly sure which platform it'll be on. But make sure you check it out, guys. Make sure you check it out and just show some support to Eli Roth. He's a very good director, and hope to see him do more projects in the future. And like I said, the cast. I mean, Addison Rae, she's in it. I know a lot of you guys like her, so I'm sure she'll be in some more projects soon as well. But yeah, go check it out. Like I said, it's in theaters, so go check it out and let me know what you think in the comments. We'll see you next time on Jay's Flicks. Everybody, have a good one.